Hello guys, I hope you guys are doing great. So I just want to quickly show you guys the mistake that you might have done on your exam. Not saying that you have actually done this question, but next time ensure that you look at this trick that I want to show you when dealing with proving the identity. It is not just about going into the question and trying to answer everything. It has to be a strategic, you need to have a strategy of how you're going to answer this question. So with that, ensure that when you are in between grade 10 to 12, follow my TikTok account, tell your friends about this account because I want to reach as many learners as possible so that each and every single day I'll be posting content to ensure that I am answering some of your questions, you guys. However, I do have online classes. If you want to join, you're going to text me and we're going to see how we're going to do with that. And on top of that, I do have a program that is aiming to ensure that everyone gets 100% on trigonometry. With that said, let me just get down to this problem. Okay, they want you to prove the identity. So what this means is they want you to show that the left-hand side actually equals to the right-hand side, right? So they want you to show that this left-hand side actually equals into the right hand side, isn't it? So your left hand side, it is actually these parameters, right? And your right hand side, it is just the tan of s, the tan of theta. So what do? You know, this is a tip. This is something you guys should have known, right? This is something you guys should have known. You know that the tan of theta, it is the same as the sine of theta divided by the cos of theta, right? What am I doing by this? This means that you need to know that on answering these questions, you must make sure that the top, right? The top should be sine of theta and the bottom should be the cos of theta. So when you change your identities on these questions, ensure that everything on top should be in terms of sine and everything on the bottom should be in terms of cos, because you are trying to prove that the left hand side equals to the tan of theta, right? So let us actually start from here. This is your 2. Let's just change everything, right? You're gonna have the 2 sine of theta divided by the cos of theta minus, let's actually change this identity. It's gonna be 2 the sine of theta, the cos of theta. So all of this is actually divided by the 2 sine squared of theta, right? So all of this is actually divided by the 2 sine squared of theta. Now, you know that this is actually going to be divided by a 1. And what actually happens is you want to take the lowest common denominator. So what this means is you are going to have the cos of theta. So because here you have the cos of theta, you are just going to multiply this by 1, and it is just going to be the 2 sine of theta minus, because here you have 1, you're just going to multiply this by the cos of theta, and you're just going to have 2 sine theta, the cos square of theta. And this is just divided by the 2 sine squared of theta, right? I hope that no one has actually missed me to this point. But here you realize that you are having a common factor, and the common factor, it is 2 sine of theta. So you're just going to take out 2 sine of theta, and you'll be left with 1 minus the cos squared of theta divided by the cos of theta, and then you're gonna divide this by the 2 sine squared of theta. What is 1 minus cos squared of theta? 1 minus cos squared of theta, it is the same as sine squared of theta. So it means that you already know that sine of theta and cos of theta, this will give you the 2 tan of theta. And at the very same time, 1 minus cos squared of theta, this will just give you sine squared of theta. And now I want to change this division into a multiplication. So I know this is the same as over 1. So I'm just going to take the 1 to be on top, and then 2 sine squared of theta to be on the bottom. So I realize that the 2 and the 2 will cancel out, and the sine squared of theta and the sine squared of theta will cancel out, and I'll only be left with the tan of theta multiplied by 1, right? And this is actually the same, just the tan of theta. So you realize that this actually equals to the left hand side, and you have actually derived this from your no, this actually equals to your right hand side. I'm just making a mistake. This actually equals to the right hand side, and you've actually derived this from the left hand side. So that is how you actually answer these questions. You don't just go into the question and start answering everything. You need to look what's on the left and what's on the right, and how am I going to change my identities. And you need to look for the common factors, the lowest. Just look at these things. Don't just rush into the question. Otherwise, guys, you can go and check the link on my bio and request today that we apply for your universities, colleges, and bursaries. We are actually having a special that when you select at least 5 universities, you're gonna get 90 rands off. So a lot of people, I know, they're saying, well, but the universities are not yet open. Look, you are booking for space. You want us to start requesting for you as soon as those universities open up. So don't make a mistake of thinking that you're gonna request when the universities open up, because we will be having a lot of applications by then, and your applications will be quite behind, right? However, we know that within the first week we would have applied for every single one of you guys that might have requested. So tell your classmate, tell your friends, tell everyone about this. The name of the website is studentport.co.za. Go and check the link on my bio. Request today. We offer universities, colleges, and also bursaries. On the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your day.